All right, what we want to do now is make a twisted cord. And I'm starting with 4 spools of thread, and I've gathered up the ends of each of those spools and I've tied a knot. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off, and I'd like you to look down on the counter here and you can see what the twisted cord looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our thread and measure off about 2 yards of this. So I'm using that age-old method, and you probably can't even see the thread as I'm doing this, but I have one end of the thread here and I have the other thread here. And that's about 1 yard, 2 yards, and I'm just pulling just a little bit more. Now I'm just going to get 20 strands of thread. So I've got 4 and 4, that's 8. And then again, I'm just letting the thread, I don't want to get it tangled, so I'm just letting the thread kind of fall over my hand and then pull it back. So that was 4 and 4 is 8, so I guess this is like 12, 16, and we'll go up to 20. Now if you only had 1 spool of thread, you would do this 20 times, or 21 or 22, but about 20 times. If you had 20 spools of thread, you could just do it once. So you want to end up with about a little over 2 yards and about 20 different threads. Now what I'm going to do is I cut off the extra thread and I'm tying this in a knot. I've allowed extra, so don't stress if don't try to get it way close to the end. Just give yourself enough room to tie a double knot. Since this is rayon, I like to put 2 knots in it because it's really kind of slippery. Alright, so we've got that knot in there, and what I want to do now is cut off the extra thread about a 1/2 of an inch below the knot. And you want to do that because if you don't, it'll get caught in the bobbin winder. So now I'm going to take an empty bobbin and I'm going to put all these threads through the center hole of the bobbin. So it's through the hole that sits on the bobbin winder. And I have the knot coming out the bottom, and I have the threads that are going to twist coming out the top. So let's go ahead and set this on our bobbin winder. So we have our bobbin on the bobbin winder, the knot coming out the bottom, and the rest of the threads coming up the top. Now I'm just going to step back here, make sure I have my threads all nice and neat, and I'm going to start the bobbin winder. You can see, I don't know if you can see it on the film or not, but it's spinning around and twisting the cord. Now you'll feel the threads start to get tighter and they'll kind of shrink up. They're getting shorter because they're twisting. So I'm turning off the bobbin winder and I'm going to just see if it twists over, and it does a very nice job. I'm going to just wind it just a little bit more. And now I'm going to stop it. I want it to be wound really tight, but not so tight that it'll break. Then when I do this, you can see it really goes over, really twist around. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end, bring it down to this end, and pull off the bobbin. Now if you have a friend, that comes in handy, especially the first couple times. I have the bobbin, I have both ends, and I'm putting the cord, because I need something to hold that there. So I'm just putting the loop of the cord over the bobbin holder, setting the bobbin down, and tying this in a knot. And again, make it easy for yourself, allow extra thread. Okay, so I have that there. Now what I think I'm going to do is, see how I separated that out so I could get my finger in there, and I'm putting the knot down at the end by the bobbin holder. Now I want to take one hand and hold this thread about there and release, and it twists over itself. Okay, then I'm going to hold here and release, and it's twisting. Hold and release, and it's twisting. Hold, release, it's twisting. and then you should be done, and it'll just twist just absolutely beautifully. So what's really, really nice about these is that you can make your own twisted cords in any color you want because it's just your thread. So let's go ahead and put this on our cushion and finish up our Sleeping Beauty trio.